Goodbye party for Miss Pushpa TS. Welcome to one and all. Have a good day. Today we are going to discuss about the poem Goodbye Party for Miss Pushpa TS, which is written by Nizim Ezekiel. Before starting up the poem, let's begin with the objectives. For what the purpose this poem has been written. According to this poem, what the poet would like to reveal the learners. The first one, to enable the learners to see the difference between Indians' use of English and British use. Here we can get a total understanding of a language English, how particularly according to the region and country wise people speaks in English. You will have a difference between the Indian English as well as the British use of English language. This poem can be considered as the best example for revealing how the different kinds of and people who resides in different countries will speak in English. The second one, to enable the learners to become familiar with the formalities associated with the farewell speech. Here we can get the glance of a party which has been given for the person who is just leaving his job or shifting somewhere else and have a farewell. And in the farewell, how the people will reveal their emotions and the expression regarding that particular person. In that, they will have a speech, right? So that speech will be considered as farewell speech. Last but not the least, the objective of this poem is to enable the learners to appreciate satire and humor in a piece of literature. In this poem, not only we will get a humor, but also we'll get a satire. What is the humor? Where you feel as if you must have to laugh, like a cracking of joke. It will look like that the same, but also have a satire means reality. In a piece of literature, literature is a platform where we can get a clear picture of emotion, expression, as well as feelings. In this poem, you will have all material such as humor, satire, and the difference of language, the same English, but how people will use it in a different way. Here we will have. So imagine your junior and friends arrange farewell parties for you. Here is the appetizer. Before starting up the poem, the poet would like to give you the glance if somebody is having a farewell. For example, your friend is going somewhere and you are arranging a party to say goodbye to him. So anyhow, we people will make a speech. All right. If it is a speech by someone who is an Indian, strongly influenced by mother tongue. So many of the example you can take the Telugu language speakers. If they speak in English, what they will do, for example, the word zero. Here we are having the sound za for Z. But most of the people who speak in Telugu, they will have the accent of their own language, the influence of that language into another one. So they will say zero. In English, EIGHT 8 is there, right? But if an influence of the other language is there on that particular language, they will say yite instead of 8. So what is this? Here we can see some people who speak in English, they rather speaking in spoken English in an English accent, they will use their own language accent into that. So that English will look like as a Babu English, which is somewhat very much humorous. So to enjoy Babu English, let's have a look on Goodbye Party for Miss Pushpa T.S. Miss Pushpa T.S. has written this. Who has written this poem? Not the Miss Pushpa. She is having a farewell from her colleagues. This poem is particularly written by Nizim Ezekiel. So, who is this Nizim Ezekiel? He is a famous Indo-Anglian poet. He was born in 1924 and educated in Mumbai and London too. So, he was an Anglo Indian poet, having the influence of both the languages. In spite of that, he knew very well the accent of English as well as his own language, as he has studied in London and also have seen the culture of our Indian society and the people who talk mostly in English have the influence of their own particular language on English, right? As he observed and experienced Indian lifestyle and focused on Indian realities. Because of that reason, these poems specially reveals the accent of the Indian people while speaking English language. He is a versatile poet with a great sense of humor and wit. He passed away in 2004 at the age of 79. So, when you are going to write the examination, what are the important points you must have to reveal about this poet is from the first line, born in 1924, Nizam Ezekiel was educated in Mumbai and London. He is one of the foremost Indo-Anglan poet. This much you have to write. And then last line, he is a versatile poet with a great sense of humor and wit. Ezekiel passed away in 2004 at the age of 79. This much is more than enough for his introduction. After having the introduction, let's go through the poem. What the poem is all about. The poem is about a farewell speech which is being revealed by some of the colleagues of Miss Pushpa. The poem is in a free verse. There is no specific rhyme scheme or the meter to this poem. It is a farewell speech, right? So, because of that, the people who are bidding a farewell to Miss Pushpa, they are very much happy that she is having a chance to go abroad. But even though they are very much in pain that losing someone very special from their surroundings, as she was very much helping in nature. The use of Indian English we can see over here in this poem, and the character of the speaker, how the speaker is revealing about Miss Pushpa, who lacks public speaking skills. He is specially giving a speech to bid a farewell, but in his speech he used a very different kind of words which have an influence of his own language. Because of that reason, it will look like as a humorous poem. If you will look for the structure or the grammar part, it is not totally correct. But if you will see the feeling of that particular person, they are so much awesome. It's a short line poem present for the cheerful character of the speaker. The poem always touches the use of English by Indian and the speaker's attitude to comment on post-colonial India's fascination to go abroad. So before what that now also most of the people, most of the students would like to go abroad for their further studies. In olden days also it was a fashion. The people who are very much having good family background and can have a support from the family to give them the platform for further education in foreign countries, most of the people will prefer to go there. Here also Miss Pushpa is going to attend for further studies, you can say, or for fascination of settling abroad. For that she is going, she is leaving her own country and going to settle in abroad, and his colleagues are bidding her a farewell. So this one is a part of the explanation before starting up the poem. Can say as the background information about the poem. Who has written poem? Nizim Ezekiel. What is the name of the poem? Goodbye Party for Miss Pushpa. Yes. Who are the main characters in this poem? The main characters in these poems are first one, the speaker, second one is Miss Pushpa. Okay, the two are the main important persons here. Let's have a look on the poem. Friends, our dear sister is departing for foreign in 2-3 days. Here you can see in our Indian culture and tradition, we call our subordinates or the people who are working with, especially girls or ladies, the gents or the male will call them by giving utmost respect. Here, for Miss Pushpa, the speaker has used the word dear sister, which shows our culture and tradition. Is departing for foreign in 2-3 days. Means Miss Pushpa is going to leave the country in 2 to 3 days. And we are meeting today to wish her bon voyage. And all are meeting over there for bidding a farewell, right? You are all knowing friends. Here you are all knowing. You all knows that it should come, right? So here in a very hilarious way, the speaker is saying, you are all knowing friends. What sweetness is in Miss Pushpa? He is talking about the beautiful nature, the fantastic nature of Pushpa. So for that he is using the word sweetness. What sweetness is in Miss Pushpa? I don't mean only external sweetness, but internal sweetness. Actual way of speaking, he would like to say that she is such a sweet person, having a quiet nature. But if you will go with the line, if you are not understanding the concept of that particular person, it is so hilarious as if Miss Pushpa is a sweet he has eaten and he is talking about the taste of Miss Pushpa. Miss Pushpa, right? He is not only talking about his external sweetness or internal sweetness, means she is in physical also very beautiful, as well as her heart is very humble and kind. For that revelation he is using this word external and internal sweetness. Miss Pushpa is smiling and smiling. You may have seen You may have seen children also when they will speak in English, they will say, Mama is beating and beating me. Daddy is calling and calling you. Why these two words means here the speaker would like to stress on that particular word that he want to reveal how intensely they are asking, beating or smiling. So the intensity of the particular person. Miss Pushpa is smiling and smiling even for no reason but simply because she is feeling. What does it mean? She is a person with having a smile on her face always and without having any of the reason. She used to be very friendly and always used to keep a smile on her face. Means she is very friendly. Miss Pushpa is coming from very high family. Here the speaker would like to tell about Miss Pushpa's family background. Her father was renowned advocate in Balsar or Surat. So very nicely he has explained that her father, Pushpa's father, was a advocate, means having a well-to-do family who used to live in Surat. The place is Bulsar. But the mentality of the Indian, what they will do when they are talking about one particular thing, they will goes on to the other to discuss all about. I'm not remembering now which place. Surat. Oh yes, once only I stayed in Surat. So he is relating one of his memory which was with him when he went to Surat. So what is it having over here? The Indian mentality while they are speaking about something. They will add on their own experiences as well as their memories into it. Here also, the poet is introducing his own personal memory, which was not totally required in the farewell party, even though he is talking about with family members. So he went to Surat with his family members of his uncle's old friend's house. His wife was cooking nicely, and here he is admiring the dishes which the uncle's very old friend has cooked. What does it mean? He is off the track now. He has to speak about Miss Pushpa and about her family. But here, the poet, the speaker, is expressing his ideology regarding his own experiences, what he has while he went to Surat, which was one of the best example of the hilarious one, which shows the mentality of Indian people. In the next segment, will you see, coming back to Miss Pushpa. Again, he is on the track now. He is talking about Miss Pushpa. She is most popular lady with men also and ladies also. What does it mean with men also and women also, or the ladies also? Is it completely he want to say that Miss Pushpa is a very popular person, all the members where she works knows her very well. But here he is gender wise discriminating and explaining that men also and ladies also knows about her very well. Whenever I asked her to do anything, she says she was saying just now only I will do it. That is showing good spirit. I am always appreciating the good spirit. So here he is giving the explanation regarding the character of Miss Pushpa. In this stanza, we can have a clear picture that Pushpa was a very hardworking girl and used to help others. Whenever the persons are asking her for help, she used to help them without having any complaints. This shows the good spirit of Miss Pushpa. For that, he is appreciating her very much. Miss Pushpa is never saying no, whatever I or anybody is asking. She is always saying yes, and today she is going to improve her prospect. Improving her prospect means getting development, having a stepping stone for getting success. She is going from one country to another to upgrade herself. Miss Pushpa is not having any of the complaints to anybody over there. Why? Because she is always helping in nature, and other people also used to love her because of her hard work. And now here at last they are sending her with a bon voyage, means on a journey where she is going for her own prospect. Now I ask other speakers to speak and forward. Miss Pushpa will do summing up. So at last he is saying that I would like to ask some other people also to share their views on Miss Pushpa. So how much the hilarious one, and the lines which you have seen over here may not be perfect in a language in a written way, but they are having a very clear picture about the feelings of the speaker, how he feel about Miss Pushpa and how they are sending her with giving utmost respect. Here we can have in this poem not only the explanation regarding Miss Pushpa, but also we can have a glance and understanding about how the people love Miss Pushpa and how they are feeling while sending her to abroad. Alright, so some of the meanings also there are part given. Glossary, go with that of glossary, and here the important question for your particular board examination. We are meeting today to wish her bon voyage is the most important one. Then Pushpa Miss is never saying no. Whatever I or anybody is asking, she's always saying yes, this one. And external and internal. A, B, and D. These three are the very most important question which you must have to understand and learn. All right. So before starting to the next poem, I hope you have understood this poem and to subscribe the channel so that you can get updates all about the remaining whatever the poetry and prose and grammar part is there we are going to discuss in our forthcoming videos. Have a good day.